Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome to Otaku. We're back with a special series of Mangaku. We're going to be going through the Shonen Jump contest that is currently going on now and reading some of the submissions and picking our favorites. I'm joined as always with Josh and Jose. Say hello.
Round of applause.
We'll have that in post. So, for those of you that don't know, there is a 100th Tezuka Manga Award special contest going on right now, where a lot of really famous Mangaku artists and authors are going to be judging submissions worldwide, and the winner gets to be published in Weekly Shonen Jump. So some of the people that are judging: author of Blue Exorcist, Akira Toriyama, author of My Hero Academia, author of One Piece, of course, which is probably one of the biggest names that everybody's super excited for. They're all going to be judging, and since we rank ourselves up there just with everybody else, we're going to be judging them as well.
Yeah.
So we
just
each
add our faces right next to all those.
They're in there, but they're just blue, so you can't see it. They're in the background. So we each picked one. I picked two because mine were very short. So we each picked one that we thought looked cool just from the cover, and we each read a different manga, and then we're gonna talk about it, and we'll decide a winner for the video, and then we will move on and we'll do a few more. So let me knock out the most notorious one really quick.
Do it. Do it.
I did, one of mine was Two Piece The King is one of the ones I did. Unironically, Two Piece The King, and it's set in One Piece, has Luffy on the front with a katana. It's not even a finished manga. I mean, I could literally read it to you guys in about 30 seconds. The opening, Luffy goes Gear 4 Lion Man against Blackbeard. In this manga, a lot of Gomu Gomu no. So first page, Gomu Gomu no, he's charging up an attack. Blackbeard hits him in the face. Gomu Gomu no, ha 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 ha, it makes me laugh, he gets punched in the face again. Gomu Gomu no, Jet Gatling, ha ta 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 ta. Okay, we're about halfway through the manga at this point.
Oh, I am riveted.
Okay, then Blackbeard, he gets hit by that. He goes, earthquake, zeha. And so he does an earthquake, and Luffy bleeds out of his mouth. And Blackbeard says, dies, Straw Hat. Which, by the way, I don't think English is his first language, so we're going to let that pass.
Yeah.
Then Blackbeard grabs Luffy, okay? Because somehow his hand is really big now. So he grabs all of Luffy. Black Swirl, zeahaha. And then Blackbeard is standing there and says, get up, Straw Hat, and Luffy's got the smoke coming out of his mouth like he's knocked out. Last page of the manga. Luffy gets up, says, shut up. Blackbeard says, answer me, which he never asked a question. There was no question asked from Blackbeard. Then you hear Zaha, and then this was left in French, okay? Oi bien sûr. Then Luffy goes...
Did you translate it?
I don't know fucking idea what that means, Jose. I just thought that was flavor text.
I'm almost certain that's we, but I'll let that pass.
Yeah, it probably is. And then Luffy finishes the manga, Gear 4th Croco Man, and it ends.
Wow.
So, riveting. Absolutely riveting. I mean, I just don't know what to tell you guys. I might as well
nothing but the best. Nothing but the best.
Skip the rest of them because that was just so fantastic.
Can you cue the fucking round of applause again?
Yeah.
So I gotta say, I feel like in the next portion of the series, because this is ongoing.
Yeah.
I'm assuming another 20 years, and it's probably you'll find out the answers to
Three Piece.
Question really.
What is Croco Man?
What is the question that Blackbeard wanted an answer to?
Oh, God.
Will you date me?
Could you imagine? Oh my God.
It just goes south immediately.
Good.
Yowie, yeah.
Right. Well, I don't want to put you guys down, but that was my first strong contender. So did you want to go next with yours, Josh?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Yeah, as you can see, my camera still doesn't work, so I thought it'd be creative and just share the screen of the item that I'm reading called Scarecrow.
So in a brief summary, what is Scarecrow about?
Well, you know what? I think in the same answer, I could just tell you the entire story.
Okay.
So it's a riveting 44 pages.
Which is pretty long.
Yeah, so yeah, because when we went through this, we were trying to decide, an equal amount of pages, some where we could do pretty quickly. This was a 5-minute read. And I'm not shitting on it because I think they used like the stereotypical trope. So essentially, what happened is this girl's telling a story to her friend about
Why?
how this scarecrow came into existence, and this scarecrow was essentially a there was a family that lived in this farm, and then this really rich guy came by and said, I want to buy your farm. And they said, no, man, it's chill. Like, we don't want that. So rich guy was like, you know what? That doesn't seem fair. So we killed everyone. But the older brother was sleeping out in the fields, came back and just went full like Whitebeard, stabbed a bunch of them with a pitchfork, but didn't kill the greedy guy. He got shot a bunch of times.
Okay, now let me ask you, what did Whitebeard have to do with that?
He died standing up.
Okay.
Just full salvo, murders these people, is stated to have died after being shot 100 times, but his body gave up. Maybe I misread this. But
Oh,
his
so
body
he died
gave
like
up.
this.
Well,
Like
they
a-
put him
Yeah.
on the scarecrow. Like they pinned him up, basically Jesused him. I don't know if you know that
Wow.
story.
Crucified?
That's brutal.
Put a straw hat on him and burned him
Named him
alive.
Luffy. Oh.
But I'm almost certain he was already dead. But apparently he wasn't.
Okay.
So they burned him alive, and basically anybody that stayed in this house would get murdered. And it was like a folktale. So typical bullshit. The girl decided she wanted to go inside.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like, no, I don't think this is a good idea. All she did was say, hey, you're a pussy. They go inside. She scares him. He sees the scarecrow. It's no longer there. You immediately know shit's happening. And then she gets stabbed.
Okay.
And she's dead. And
That's it?
well, then he starts getting attacked by the scarecrow. Apparently, he can juke the scarecrow quite often. And the floorboards in this household are fucking weak.
So
Everything
I have a
breaks.
quick question before you go too
Go for
far
it.
from it. Did she get stabbed by the actual scarecrow? Like the scarecrow
Yeah.
showed up behind her and went, stab.
No, she was already bleeding
Director.
and dying, and she said, "Run, dude," and then gets fucking impaled into the floor. So you're just
Okay.
sitting there like, "Oh, I hope she's okay," because
Okay.
the other guy didn't die from 100 bullets. Um,
Fun.
so he's now getting attacked. The main character is getting attacked by the scarecrow. The
I would
scarecrow.
have
is
thought
a
the
little
girl
too-
was the main character.
No,
Okay.
the guy. The scarecrow is very quippy. Not good quippy, but very quippy.
Okay.
Just just a little.
Just like, oh, don't you know how hard it is to throw this thing with no joints? And you broke my ceiling.
Okay.
So long story short, the ceiling falls through and they fall into the floor. Apparently his friend has no longer got legs. I believe she may be dead at this point. We still don't know.
Okay.
Interesting.
They're underground. There's pipes there now, which I'm almost certain as a farmer they didn't have pipes, but maybe they did. But they had pipes down there. Scarecrow is now finally attacking him. Man pulls out a fucking lighter, lights his shirt on fire, and throws it into the gas leak that is now in the room. And basically just goes full suicide bomber and doesn't die. So he gets blown out, but the Scarecrow, who's an immortal being and got his neck broken by a baseball bat earlier in the manga, I'm sorry for
Baseball bat.
skipping that very crucial scene, is now dead. His friend is dead. They cut to a week later, and he's like, oh my god, they just played it up to a prank that went wrong. I haven't told anyone, but my friend is dead.
It's a prank, bro.
And- Yeah. So all of a sudden, his girlfriend is there. And she's like, hey, what's up?
The girl who died?
Yeah. And he's just starting to freak out. He's
Sus,
like, wait,
dude,
what?
sus.
Like, what? How could you? I thought you died. And she's like, oh, the gas must have gotten to you. Like, he passed out from the gas that was leaking.
Spooky.
And then he's like, oh,
Scary.
it's so good to see you again. Like, I didn't get to tell you how I feel and blah, blah, blah. And he hugged her. And basically, he had a
Josh,
crush on her.
wait, does it end with the
her mouth
scarecrow
changing.
being somewhere?
No, she is the Scarecrow.
Dun, dun,
Oh.
dun.
Yeah. And that's how it ends. Her mouth turns into the Scarecrow. Also, scarecrows say "caca, hee hee."
Nice.
I don't
Oh,
want to
God.
shit on this because I will say, while the storytelling is weak
Mhm.
and very like cliche and repeated, the art, like as you can see, is pretty damn gorgeous. I'm not saying it's perfect. I think they could have cleaned it up more. I don't know how long this contest has been going, so I don't know if they had this pre-worked. But I mean, for the most part, this looked like normal manga style. Like
That's
you could totally
that's a
read
good review. If it looks
Yeah.
like a normal manga, like
and
hey,
I just feel like
Hey,
they
that's
could
pretty good.
Yeah, they could totally have someone write a better story and use the artwork and like the basis for the story. I just think, you know, for 44 pages, the fact is I literally gave you the entire story right there, which, you know, and I'm not expecting like, you know, full Mangaku review, but yeah, it could use some work on the story department.
okay.
But yeah, otherwise good.
All right, that's a solid competitor to Two Piece. Jose, what did you read?
Red Dragon Tofu.
Dragon Tofu. Okay, what is Dragon Tofu about?
Let me tell you, you can categorize this in the shonen gang.
Okay, obviously, because it's for Shonen Jump, but go ahead.
Yep. All right, so it starts off with these two scientists. They're working on a computer chip. You know, small talk. We're gonna make the world a better place. Explosion. Then you see peas. The computer chip turns into like peas, like in a pod. And then it cuts to black. And then you meet the two main characters that are apparently orphans.
I'm sorry. What just happened?
That's what happens.
Something exploded and turned into peas?
Yes, peas, like actual fucking peas.
Okay, so it's
Like
two peas in a pod, and then you see the two main characters, so they're like two peas in a pod.
Yeah, but it turns out they're orphans and they're brothers, and so the two main characters are Toshiki and Kazu.
Okay.
Who get bullied because they're ugly. They look like blocks. They have block heads.
Okay.
Which is apparent by the cover art.
Yes, the amazing cover art. You know, it's just stereotypical thing. They get bullied, then they grow up and they work for an insurance company, but that's only their like, you know, their morning job. By night, they're hunters, and they can either they hunt criminals or artifacts, and it's based off a ranking system. And if you turn them in, you get money for that.
What? Okay, so classic story where they're orphans, you know, they have a shitty bringing, and then they grow up, they're still friends, and now they're hunting criminals or artifacts.
Honestly, I'm impressed by the fact that they didn't die from suicide and other related things to depression. But, you know, the fact that they're reforming their life and having a ranked criminal system.
It's interesting because they work for a guild, and apparently, like, if you work for a big pool guild is what they called it, you have to give them like 60% of your money that you get from turning them in. But their dream is to like make enough money and have their own guild where they pay nobody.
So how does it end, Jose? Like what is the ending? So they're hunting stuff, they're part of a guild, they want to make their own guild so they have a lot of money. What is the end?
All right, so in the story, they meet a panda who everyone laughs at because he says you can find artifacts that have magical powers.
Now real quick, the main characters are the human? No.
Nope, they're the tofu.
Okay, just checking.
Yep. And then they meet a panda who everyone laughs at, and he has his own crew. They're like, "Oh, let's go do this mission. I believe we can do it there." And the panda's very much a Fuha kind of character. You know, he's funny. He tries to do things, but then when he can't do it, he lets the other guys do it, and they do it, and he, you know, makes the faces, the
okay,
like the gasping faces. They end up finding them. Then the panda turns on them when they find the sacred object.
Betrayal.
The sacred object is a spoon.
Oh.
Yep.
Sam, when do I get to say what? I'm just curious.
And then, shit, I forgot one of the other characters, a pineapple surfer, who's literally a pineapple that surfs.
Just gonna preemptively, what?
But
Jose, how many pages was this?
55.
Oh, you had so much more story than I.
Not only that.
So the panda betrays them, Jose. I need to know what happens.
He causes two other flunkies to attack him, but his flunkies are so stupid they can't kill the pineapple. And the pineapple's like, "Nah, I'm chilling. Let these guys come at me." He's just fighting them off like whatever.
Wait, where'd the pineapple come from? He was there?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that he was with them.
Friend?
Okay,
Yeah, the
so
pineapple's
it's
a
the two
surfer.
main characters and the pineapple. They were all there together with the panda, and then the
Yeah.
panda betrays them.
Yep, causes
Okay.
henchmen.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden the panda gets fucking huge and he starts fighting them. He beats up one of the tofus.
Oh.
And then he drops the spoon, so the other one picks it up, and somehow the magic flows into him, and it turns into a giant spear, and he
Okay.
chops the panda's arm off, like straight. And the panda the whole time is like, "It's okay, it's a flesh wound."
Whoa.
Is that
Gotta
a
get those
direct
tropes
quote?
in there.
Pretty much, he says.
Okay.
Here, I have it open right now. I can probably
Okay.
find it. Give me a quick second. It's like one of the last pages.
So I'm feeling like there's like a common theme between Two Piece and this. Obviously, Blackbeard is actually the panda in this story and has the random grow big ability.
Before he gets his arm cut off, he gets his eye gouged out by one of the tofus.
Okay.
Okay, Josh's was like a horror manga, and yours sounds more gruesome than what his was.
It's just
At
like,
no point until just that.
oh yeah, at the end he says, "No big deal. It's nothing. It's nothing bad."
Okay, so he gets his arm cut off. They have the spoon. They have all the power.
And literally they black
The spoon becomes a
black
spear?
out, and so
Oh.
the other tofu rescues the other tofu and pineapple surfer,
Okay.
and they get away, and then they're like, "All right, we're safe. You must have passed out." But somehow his brother's healed after he gets beat up.
Oh.
Then
Okay.
it cuts to the panda in this very nice looking lavish building in front of a big desk where someone's talking to him, and he's like, "Sir, I'm sorry. We couldn't complete the mission." And then the panda
talking to someone?
yeah,
Mhm.
and then the panda tries to
Oh.
blackmail this shrouded figure who you can't
Oh.
see. And then it turns out that the shrouded figure's like, "No, I will not be blackmailed." Pulls out a fork,
Oh.
and then he channels some power into
Yeah.
it and stabs all of the panda and his henchmen.
Yep, that's because that's the counter to the spoon is the fork. So
Mhm. But when he sets the fork down, he has a knife and a soup spoon with it.
oh, uh-oh. He has all the artifacts except for the one.
Yep.
Is he Thanos?
So is that the end, Jose?
It literally ends with him being like, "Those fools don't know what they got into."
Wow.
And then the three main characters now are just chilling in the back of an Uber saying like, "Oh, I guess we could sell this other thing and make some money." And it ends with
Wow.
the boys not knowing what they got themselves into could lead them through a perilous journey.
Wow, that
Huh.
is fantastic.
I am genuinely shook.
Fucking dragon tofu.
That is fantastic, dude.
I've never. That is just wild. The man just wants to finish his cutlery set, and along the way, these two kids get involved, and
I
that
didn't
is
even read it, and I enjoy it a lot.
It's like I left out a lot of like just random little bits.
Oh, he
of
left
stuff.
out a lot.
It kind of reminds me of a little bit like Shaolin Showdown. That's kind of what it reminds me.
Yeah. It's kind of got that feel, and it's also got that boba feeling to it.
Okay.
At no point
Okay.
did I feel that. No, it felt very serious to me.
You have to you have to read it.
So far,
just-
that one is my favorite.
Yeah, I gotta be honest.
So I was looking, and there are multiple chapters for Dragon
Oh,
Tofu.
wow. So
At
he
the
submitted
moment-
multiple chapters already.
So there's 4 chapters.
Wow.
So we have a new
Okay.
Mangalku for next month.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a quick peek at chapter 2.
Okay.
They're in Brazil.
They're in Brazil.
Yeah, this seems like a lot like Shaolin Showdown. We're like they're hunting down artifacts, they fight over them, whatever. All right. Do you want me to go with my last one?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you want to explain that you
So-
had to do a second one?
Yeah, I did 2. One was 2-piece, which was really short. This one that I did was another unique one called V Otaku, and it's all text. There's no paneling, there's no art, there's no anything. It's just text, which is fine because like whatever. Sometimes you're not good at the art, sometimes you're not good at the story. So the Otaku, hold on here. The setup is classic the Otaku, which is the character's name, by the way. It's just Otaku. That's how he's referred
Oh,
to.
so like they have a weekly podcast.
Yeah,
monthly
he's just referred to
Mangaku.
as Otaku. So he's
Gotcha.
sitting at home playing games. He's with his friend. His friend's name is Typical. Okay,
Cool.
that's his name.
Really,
It-
they're just gonna fill it in post.
so someone knocks on the door, and that person's name is Slacker. So Slacker knocks on the door with a note and is saying, hey, yeah, so I was sent here to tell you a message. You need to, like, rescue a princess from, like, character name Last Boss. And to do that, you'll have to, like, defeat the annoying 3. You know, okay, bye. And so this person leaves.
Wow.
Otaku, which main character name, by the way, goes back into the room and just like, I don't know, that was like a door-to-door salesman or something. I'll just go back inside. So he goes back inside, okay? And so now they're just chilling. And there's this scene of banter that between Otaku and Typical. Otaku turns to Typical and goes, why are you reading yaoi? Which is boy love manga, where it's like boy romance. You know what it is.
We would never know that.
He says, it has a good story. Otaku responds, but you're straight, right? Typical.
Shrugged. Okay.
Shrugs.
Sam, do you want to send me a link to this? Maybe we could just do a script reading, like a live script reading right now.
Dude.
Jose could be Slacker, I'll be Typical.
I'm not even joking. So this manga, I guess we'll call it. It's really like a script to a manga is really what he's pitching it as. It made me laugh multiple times. Like
God.
The shit that was in here was nutty. So next day rolls around. Okay, another knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Guy shows up, pulls him outside of his doorway, and slams him on the ground.
Oh.
It's one of the annoying 3. His name, Player. Okay.
Oh.
So they start fighting. Otaku's getting beat up. He's getting thrown across the room, like thrown into.
Was it ever established that Otaku was like, a seasoned fighter?
No.
Okay.
Not at all, ever. He's just a classic otaku, just video games and manga and anime for this guy.
Gotcha.
So he gets thrown into his friend Typical multiple times. And Typical tries to give him advice, telling that he needs to see it like a game because Player sees it like a game. And, quote, he needs to try to see what lies beyond the fist. Quote there.
What?
Okay. So Typical gives him that advice, and then a group of people come up to Typical, and Typical goes, oh, this is the cheating brigade. They're going to take me away because I tried to help you. So he gets taken away by this cheating brigade because he tried to help Otaku in the fight, and that's cheating.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
Yes. So they fight some more, and then eventually Otaku, he takes the advice into him, and he's like, okay, I need to do this. So he defeats him.
Is advice a physical person?
No.
Okay.
I can see the confusion. It's not.
Okay.
So Otaku defeats him by pausing. Okay, this is what he said he did. So the guy, he gets defeated, and he's like, how did you do it? This is his explanation. He paused, waited for him to attack, then jumped behind him, and then waited for him to turn around. Quote, just like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Okay? That was in the manga. So
what?
I don't know what that means. Did he pause the game? Or is he just talking about like in fighting games you jump a lot and you jump over the other person? I don't know.
Over the other person, and then they go to turn around, and then you Kamehameha and just like Tekken 3.
You're hunched in the corner and you're just jabbing at someone in the shin.
I hate you, Jose, but that's on a different podcast.
Player goes to leave, okay, and he says, "You haven't seen The Last of Us." Otaku responds with, "No, I haven't, but I've heard that's a great game." And then he leaves.
Nice. Oh my, the puns.
So he leaves, and then Otaku's like, that was so weird. Oh, wait, he dropped this piece of paper. He picks up the piece of paper. It has directions for where he's supposed to go. So he goes back in the house, grabs his shit, closes the door, runs out, runs immediately into one of the annoying 3. This one's name is Reader. Okay?
Oh, interesting. Fourth wall?
So Reader is called that because she fights while reading a manga. All right. So they fight, whatever. And then Typical shows up out of nowhere. He's back. He's like, how the hell did you get here? He's like, oh, I just came from your house. I just walked over. I was like, oh okay. So
I didn't think about that.
I know. So Typical shows up and tells him now that he needs to read between the lines is the advice here. Okay.
Oh, he's gonna get pulled away by the cheating brigade.
Cheating brigade shows up, pulls him away.
Oh my god!
Yep.
He gets taken away again. This time he thinks, what does reading between the lines mean? Oh, I got it. So he replaces the manga that she is reading with the yaoi one that his friend was reading that he just had on him for some reason. Replaces it with that. She notices like, oh, this is what is this? And then she explodes.
Oh,
She explodes. Okay? And then that's it. Done. She's gone.
oh, that's That's the end of the
There's
manga?
more.
Oh,
It's the
oh.
annoying 3, Josh, okay? So we're only
I
on 2.
didn't think we were gonna see all 3
Yeah.
in one chapter.
So she drops another piece of paper with directions. So he goes there now, and he shows up and starts getting hit by like something. He can't see it, but he starts getting hit by something. Third member of the annoying 3 shows up. He's like, "Oh, you can't see me? Hold on." He starts talking. His name is Watcher, and the pun is that his name is Watcher, but you can't watch him because he's invisible. That's the whole pun that he explains. Is why he named himself that.
I wish you had built up to this, but now I feel like we just tossed that out the window.
So, and then they're talking, and he's like, "Why?" The main character Otaku. He's like, "Why am I fighting? What is the deal?" Watcher explains that apparently last boss he kidnapped the girl, and no one tried to stop him, and so he was disappointed. So he sent Slacker out to go find somebody to stop him, and that's him.
Wait, what girl?
We don't. That's the girl he's supposed to rescue. That's the whole point of the thing.
Oh, there's a
Someone knocked on the door, was like, "Hey, I have this note here
you.
saying you need to go rescue this girl."
This is Slacker. That's right.
I think her name's literally Rescuing Girl or something like that. It's like,
Oh my
you need
God.
to go rescue girl and defeat last boss. Okay. So he says the last boss got away with it, but then he was upset nobody tried to stop him. Typical shows up again. How did you get here, Typical? Uber. Okay. So
I'm done.
so Typical was like, you need to fight with unseen eye or with eyes unseen. And Otaku's like, what the
he's
fuck
gonna
does that even
use-
mean? And he's like, oh, it's from Princess Mononoke. It's a quote.
Yeah.
And
Wait,
so
Typical said that, or
Typical said that. It's
Typical
from
said that.
Princess Mononoke. And then he gets taken away by the Cheat Brigade again.
Always, dude. Always.
So he can't win. So he tries to fight with that. He's like, what does that mean? And he's not winning, even with the quote. He's like, oh, okay. So he closes his eyes and he starts punching. And then he hits him. He actually hits him.
what?
Okay, and the guy, the Watcher, is like, whoa, how did you hit me? And he goes, I couldn't really do it with the quote, so I just started thinking of One Punch Man and how he's fighting the mosquito. And then I thought about the opening theme, and I just started punching. So he's like, whoa. And then Watcher vanishes. He just vanishes. He's out.
Wait,
he's
but
gone.
Isn't he invisible?
He's a
Yeah, he's uninvisible at this point. He vanishes. Okay? So he goes back home because Watcher doesn't drop any sort of piece of paper. So Otaku goes back home. Typical goes back home. Next day rolls around. Another knock on the door. They open the door and this girl is standing there and starts punching Otaku, like fighting him. And she's pissed. Like what took you so long? What were you doing? And she's punching him. You find out this is the girl he was supposed to rescue. The girl he was supposed to rescue is now at the door. Like, what the fuck took you so long? And apparently he took so long that she just freed herself and defeated the last boss by herself and came to his house to figure out what the fuck took so long. So they're
badass.
They're fighting, and then she sees that he has a whole bunch of anime collectibles and stuff in his house. And he's like, "Oh, are you an otaku?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, I collect like the figures and play video games and stuff." And she's like,
scene.
And she's like, "Oh." So then they just end up sitting down and playing games together, and that's the end of the manga.
I was close enough.
Yeah. So they just call it quits. Hey, good job, everybody, and they just sit down together and start playing manga or start playing video games, not manga.
Nice.
Yeah, and that was all text, by the way, all text. So it was like a script.
Clap. Can we get the clap here too?
Yeah. So, what did you guys think?
I think that was absolutely.
I think it was pretty good. Yeah, I liked it.
It was like they shat on tropes the entire time.
I thought it was really funny. It was like a little bit Scott Pilgrim, but as in like they didn't take it seriously at all.
Yeah, it did.
They were just.
That was definitely the vibe I was getting, the Scott Pilgrim vibe.
Yeah, they were just like, fuck it. It's like, it's like, why am I fighting? I don't know.
I love the cheating brigade because that's like such a normal thing though in like a fucking anime where it's like, you got to do this. That character gets knocked out or like pulled
immediately
away
gets
and they
taken
can't
out
help.
of it.
Oh.
And just like every time, like Typical doesn't try to fight it. He just like, he'll give the advice and then the cheating brigade shows like, oh, okay, I got to go. I'll see you at your house, right? He just leaves.
Just takes off.
He just goes with them. It's like, okay, cool.
That is perfect.
Yeah.
That's rough. See, if we had that level of writing with Scarecrow, I think we would have had a fucking award-winning manga.
They should collab. They should
collab.
That would be great.
animate the guy who did Scarecrow, draw the otaku.
Yeah, draw the otaku. Please. And I feel
there's
like
parts, by the way, where they're fighting, and it'll skip over the fight part because, like, it's kind of hard to write a script for like a fight.
woo woo.
So it'll just go, they start fighting in a martial arts sequence, and then it'll just skip to the text. It's just like, okay, cool. So I could dig it.
Oh yeah, oof. I'm gonna have to call it there. That's my favorite. Jose,
I like that a lot. I like that a
Jose's
lot.
was wild,
Yeah.
and I feel like blew the first two out of the fucking water, but
Yeah.
that one was pretty good.
I really like the otaku too. Jose's made me laugh a lot, but like I was reading this one and I was laughing. I was like, this shit is so just, I don't know what they were on when they were writing this. It was just like,
They were on a sick one, let me tell you.
it's like
That's
someone
perfect.
sat down and was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna write my thing, and then they just powered through it all. And it's like,
It's
yep.
like they drank a Red Bull. It was like 3 in
Yeah.
the morning, and they're
Yeah.
just like, "Fuck it, let's do this."
It's like, yeah, I got a good idea, and they just jolt that shit out, and I was like, wow, okay, cool. It's like, I'm there for the ride. That's great.
Yeah.
So let's decide what we're gonna do. Is we're gonna go ahead and pick our favorite every video and declare that the winner of the video, and then maybe we'll have like some final grand finale once we've read them all and pick our winner. So Josh, your favorite of the 4, really, because we did 2-piece as well. Don't forget 2-piece, okay?
So we have 2-piece, Scarecrow, Tofu Dragons, and then we have
The otaku.
the otaku. Like I said, I think otaku wins. If we didn't have that
I
level of
agree.
funny, it would have been Tofu Dragon because
Yeah.
I couldn't predict it.
And Jose, you agree?
I agree. I really like Tofu Drag, or not. I like the Otaku more.
I would say I like the otaku as well. Maybe would have liked Tofu Dragon a little more with I don't know. Maybe the other chapters make it better. But
yeah,
I
it could
really
expand.
I really like the otaku. I thought it was fucking funny. And it's very complete, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you get your story right there.
Yeah.
So
No
the
cliffhanger
otaku
and
is
One and
our
done.
winner for this episode or mini series, whatever you want
Absolutely no bias whatsoever.
to call it. Yeah, no bias. It has nothing to do with the fact it's the name of the channel. Nothing to
Yep.
do with that. So thanks for watching, you guys. If you liked it, please leave a comment and like and subscribe because I think this is fun. A little something we
Yeah.
could do. They're short little chapters and
We're
up and
planning on
coming
doing this.
mangaka is what they're called. So maybe we'll pick the winner who actually gets picked. We don't know. So if you guys have read any of them, leave your thoughts down below. Check out all the ones we talked about for yourself. We'll have the art up on the screen so you have already seen some of it. And we will be back. I think we won't be back next week because that's regular Mangaku. But the week after, we'll be back with more. And then stay tuned for next week where we talk about Samurai 8. So thanks for watching, you guys, and see you next time.